Kicking off match 7 here. Got some quick movement from Robo-Lois Van Halen on the blue lines. That's 14-3-63. Scored a specimen. Already moved in 2. Here comes a third sample in the observation zone. And they're not going to be scoring those specimens for this autonomous period. On the red line, 17-0-97 Proto Stars went for a sample. Unfortunately missing it. The drivers decided to cancel the autonomous. A new rule this year is that if your robot is about to go and destroy itself, or you just want to stop the auto, you're welcome to do that.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Never a bad idea. This isn't your only match of the day. You want to make sure the robot is still alive by the end of the tournament. 14-3-63 again. Robo-Lois Van Hollen has scored another specimen. They're going to grab another one. Look at how that arm, the turret on the end of their intake, is able to grab a sample, and then when they get to the observation zone, just flick it back so that they don't have to worry about turning the robot all the way around when scoring. Our two red robots here reaching into submersible. Proto Stars once again grabbed a sample, scoring up high in the basket, just barely high enough, and they got it, courtesy of the robot Proton. 14-1-79. Their alliance partner, Sushi Squad, grabbed another specimen. Already got 3 up there on the red chamber. Here they go for a 4th. Let's see if they get it, and they got it. Nice job. Not to be outdone, though, Robo-Lois Van Halen on the blue lines, 14-3-63, is doing a very interesting strategy I've seen before, where they grab a sample, and as they drop it off at the exact same time, they pick up a specimen from the human player. This is a very different strategy from what a lot of teams do here, which is where they collect a bunch and then score all those specimens at once. Each one seems to work very well, and in this case, Robo-Lois has scored tons of specimens for the Blue Alliance, so clearly it's working well for them. Teams, you have 46 seconds left. Proton on the Red Alliance, that's the team from Proto Stars, is reaching in. Oh, some interactions between the two intakes on the robots on the Red and Blue Alliance. Sushi Squad on red, scoring another specimen up high, and now bringing themselves over to the observation zone to grab another. Like I said earlier, they're using the strategy of collecting a bunch of samples and then scoring them all in the end. So Blue Alliance may be in the lead now, but Red Alliance is cashing in those specimens and will very quickly be catching up. 15 seconds left. Watch out for these ascents. I heard that Robo-Lois on blue maybe have a level 3 ready for us. I'm excited to see what happens. Red Alliance still collecting as much as they can. 7 seconds left. The drivers are calling out. It's time for hang. Proton from Proto Stars on the Red Alliance going for an ascent. Didn't quite get both hooks on. 1 second left. And that's the end of our match.
Dive! And we'll start off on the Blue Alliance. It's looking mighty orange, to be quite honest with you, with Team 5009 Helios and their partners 17097, the Proto Stars. We can see the Proto Stars pushing all of those blue samples over so that they could get some specimens made in auto, and slowly but surely it's going for that high chamber. There it goes. That's 10 points, which gets doubled up from the autonomous
Drivers,
period into
pick
the
up your controllers.
We're now entering.
3, 2, 1.
And we see the Red Alliance in response, looking like 27683, looking to get that specimen, put it in on the chambers. They already got one on the low chamber, so maybe they'll probably go for another one on that low chamber. But their partners, 7120, looking to also get some samples while they're trying to score. That's going to harm their cycle a bit, but you know what? We could make up those points. Unofficial score right now is 131-27 in Blue's favor with a minute 30 on the clock. And let's look back at that Blue Alliance. Helios dumping some samples over into that high basket. You can see that that arm, that lovely manufactured CNC arm, fully custom, built by these high schoolers, slowly and surely and effectively getting all of those samples into that high basket. And sometimes you'll see that arm rotate a little too quickly on the backswing, and it actually shakes the field a bit. 54 seconds on the clock, and we see 7120. That is Bionica looking to get some samples so they could either dump it into their basket or maybe make some more specimens. But we see 27683 looking to pick up another specimen. With the 35 seconds on the clock, they'll put it on the chamber for some points. 7120 also getting those red samples so that they can make specimens. An effective tag team indeed, though they do got to be mindful of those penalties that they're racking up for having a human player in the observation zone while they are dumping their sample. 13, 12 seconds, 10 seconds on the clock, and we'll see some hangs going on like this one by Protostars. They're not quite able to latch just yet, but we'll see with the 3 seconds left on the clock. 2 seconds, 1 second, and that is time. One dive.
All right, and as we're off here, we got 3 robots moving. The Masters just missing on the Blue Alliance side, while we've got the Brookline bots here going for that high chamber and scoring successfully. Well done, guys. Protostars on the far side going for the basket and successfully dumping in the high basket. That is worth 8 points right now, and it's worth another 8 points at the end of the 30-second autonomous period, where it's going to be worth double in essence. That's part of the key of the autonomous period. A lot of points can be scored. They're on the table in the 30 seconds, and they are worth a heck of a lot of points. Meanwhile, we still got Blue moving.
Drivers,
And we're off
pick
to
up your
tele-op.
controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, and now we're off. We got 3 robots mobile. They are going here. Brookline bots getting into the player station, and now we have 4 robots mobile. Fantastic. Masters playing that high goal over there as we roll into the start of this match. Red has a significant commanding lead here, 39-0, but that could be caught up if they're not careful here going through this match. Meanwhile, Protostar over here in the Red Alliance side, trying to line up those specimens so that they can score them on the high chamber. Can they get those quickly? Oh, they just dropped that one. Brookline bots scoring in the low net zone over there, and oh no, they've lost their team number. On the other side, we got Psychotech just getting stuff ready in the human player station, trying to load up as many of those samples as they can and turn them into specimens. I'm assuming we're going to see a flurry of activity from Blue here at the end as they try to load up that high chamber with specimen after specimen. If anybody's coming in here from K-Days and wants to know what we're talking about, the different game elements are called samples if they do not have a clip on them, and specimens if they do. The specimens are able to be hung on the submersible, which is the big metal thing in the middle of the field, while the samples can only be scored in the baskets on the corner of the field. As we go into the nearing the end of this match, there's 52 seconds left at this point. We are nearing end game. Again, for those who are watching, in end game, teams are able to ascend. After 30 seconds left, they can try to climb this submersible for an additional set of points. Blue Alliance has 3 specimens up on the top of that high chamber, while Red appears to have 4 from where I'm standing. We can see the Masters, the red robot on the referee side here, trying to score in the blue high basket. That is your hooter for endgame. At any point in the next 30 seconds, these robots can try to ascend this submersible. Are we going to see a level 1 ascent? That means they touch the bar. Are we going to see a level 2 ascent where they climb the first bar? Or are we going to see any level 3 ascents where they climb to the very top of the submersible? And woo, we have had ejection of game elements out of that top basket on the Blue Alliance side. That is unfortunate. Coming up on 3 seconds left, 2 seconds left, 1. That's your game.
Go.
Autonomous starts with 3 robots out, 2 on the red side, 1 on blue. Protostars with a basket in the upper 8-pointer. Absolute Zero feeding that human player. They've got 1 on the upper chamber. Their teammates have 2 in the upper basket right now, mostly operational. Protostar has 1 in the net zone. Looks like Fortis Tech conserving their
Drivers,
battery.
pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All 4 robots out of the gate in tele-op. Fortis Tech moving, that's a good sign. They've got a specimen in hand, going for the upper chamber. Tried to snap it on, just missed. That bottom lip was a little bit too far forward. Mostly operational, knocks 1 off their inventory on the wall. Human player sets it right back up. Protostars going up high at the maximum reach. They drop it. 8 points up top. Absolute Zero. They've got 4 up there for the Red Alliance. Looks like Protostars, a little stall, but they're back in operation after about a 5-second delay. Protostars are stuck on the rung again. Fortis Tech picking up a specimen out of their observation zone, coming over to the upper chamber. Got to turn 90 degrees and hook it. Protostars up high in the upper basket. They got a cycle time of about 10 seconds right now. Oh, absolute zero with one on the rim. Looks like it's going to fall in. Mostly operational with 4 on the upper chamber. Okay, absolute zero trying to be careful. They want to knock that one off. It's about to go in. They've got 6 up there. 42 seconds left. Proto Stars up high. They're 6th in the upper basket. Mostly operational grabs another. Well, they're going for another sample to feed their. That's in game. Fortis Tech going for their 4th on the upper chamber. And the Proto Stars with the upper basket score. Fortis Tech just missed on the upper chamber. Absolute zero up high for the 9th in their upper basket. 8 points each on that. Mostly operational going for their 8th upper chamber score. Fortis Tech got another one, their 5th. They're going to try to make up that deficit. 1 into the match. Great match.
Go! Starting in match 48, first 49, that's Nerd Herd over on the Blue Lions, scores a specimen, now turning to 1, now 2 samples, here comes a 3rd, turning into specimens for the Blue Lions. Incredibly fast and precise auto from them. Not to be outdone though, on the red side, we got Proton, the robot courtesy of Proto Stars, collecting a specimen, now bringing it over to that red chamber, lining up carefully, let's see if they can do it. Oh, and just barely missing it. Autonomous is one of the most difficult things to get. Still, great job.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
Incredibly potent auto from our Blue Alliance here with 5 specimens. That puts in the lead 100 points to 64. Still, a very, very easy gap for the Red Lions to catch up, so both teams will still have to work on it hard. Notice how 49 has that articulating intake that can twist left and right so that the main driver gets close to it, and their second driver has control of that arm so they can twist it left and right to get the specimen or sample. Very interesting intake there. On the Red Alliance, Proto Stars going for their 3rd specimen on the upper red chamber. They got it, no issues there. That awesome rack and pinion mechanism at the end of their lift doing a great job getting them just the right position they need to score these specimens. Their alliance partners, 11272 Genesis, scores a sample up high. That active intake on the end of their arm has 2 spinning, it looks like a car wash kind of intake. Grabs those samples really easily. And then notice how the top of their arm has a trapdoor that opens up to release the samples in the upper basket. Really clever design. Teams, you have 1 minute remaining. Another sample up high for the Red Alliance, courtesy of Genesis. Another sample in the observation zone from their alliance partner, Proto Stars. Blue Alliance is out for the count, I think. 49 may have been disconnected, but I know that their alliance partner, Nighthawks, has a sample inside of the robot. It's really nestled in there. Again, if you have a sample in your possession, you can't do anything else until that one is removed or scored or something else. 49 has lit it back up. Let's see if they're back in the action. And they're alive. Incredible. Red Alliance in the lead now, 186 to 124. Let's see if Blue Alliance now fully active and catch up again. 20 seconds left. Watch out, these teams may be going for a sense. We have another red sample up high, another red specimen being prepped, but the Blue Alliance also getting specimens. 15 seconds now. 24, 124, maybe going for an ascent for the Blue Alliance. We have one robot twisting up. Let's see if they get that. They're all the way up there. Incredible climb there from the Red Alliance. 5 seconds left. 3, 2, 1. A very exciting end.
Dive! And diving down into the deep, they go. Team 22471 on the Blue Alliance. Looks like they were able to get their preload off, but not quite with that second or third spike marked samples on the field. But their partners are doing their best job to stack on all of those specimens for multiple points. And these points will get counted off in the teleop period as well as the auto period.
Drivers, pick up your controllers.
Teleop period
3,
starting
2, 1.
now. And there they go. Let's see what the Red Alliance is up to. It looks as though we got the Proto Stars trying to move those red samples into their observation zone. Doing a quick spin, a little too hard, but you know what? They fixed that up. Looks as though they're going for their specimen, and they're not quite able to get it just yet, but we'll see how that works And there it goes, off the rail it goes on to that high chamber for points. Meanwhile, their partners, Tuesday, looking to get that yellow sample, and it looks as though they're trying to fish for it. Not quite, but will they be able to get it? Folding that arm up a little too early, not quite able to close it just yet. We'll check back in with them, but you know what? We'll check in on that Blue Alliance. It looks as though we have 18227, Area 52, making some quick work of retrieving those samples. Blue sample into the observation zone. It becomes a specimen when that human player clips on that black clip so that they can put it down onto the chamber. 48 seconds, and we see Team 471 also trying their best to retrieve some samples. They get a yellow sample, they dump it out, and now they're trying to pick that up again so that they can dump it into the basket. And it looks as though they'll get that points just in time for endgame. Last 30 seconds of the match. This is where teams have the opportunity to hang and score some more points in our end game period. We're at the 20-second mark, and it looks as though the Proto Stars are possibly going for a hang. And here it comes, folks. Level 1 achieved by touching one of those rungs. Level 2 achieved when only supported by that second rung, with the 3 seconds left, and it looks as though we'll get a hang out of one of the blue.
One, die! Testing, testing. Oh, I think we have sound. All right, we got 4 robots moving in autonomous. We have sound again. I can entertain you again. Fantastic. I hope you enjoyed the silence here for a few moments as we come to the end of autonomous mode here.
Drivers,
And the field
pick
sounds
up your
work there too.
controls. 3, 2, 1.
All right, and with that moving, we're in the teleop mode here. We're messing with, looks like we're messing with some of the sound back there. That's fine. Okay, looking for an FTA on one side because we only have 2 robots up and moving. Oh, we got 3 robots up and moving. Fantastic. Proto Stars are back up and moving, trying to get themselves some of those samples out from the submersible. All right. Moving along, we have team 16448 Aimbot Robotics very efficiently on the Blue Line side, loading up that high basket. Again, those are worth 8 points each in the high basket, whereas the high chamber, which is the top bar on each color on either side, are worth 10 points each. On the Red Alliance side, it looks like we've got some issues coming in from Team 21579. Testing is optional. They don't look like they've connected very well here. The FTAs are going in to try to help. That's what the FTAs are here for. Definitely use those guys all the time to try to make this happen. It looks like it is not salvageable. That robot is going to sit there and have a good think about life and what it has done this morning. Hopefully those guys are back because they've got far too good of a robot to miss more than one match. Also on the Red Alliance side, trying to do this now 2 versus 1 match, 19566. Coding the Cosmics doing an amazing job dropping those single points down in the lower net zone. Those are worth a couple points each. They're going to make it so they are on the board, though it looks like Blue is running away with this one at this point, 183 points to 20. Oh, look, I'm the only one with a microphone. Dad, you go get that started out. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm just got a mic. So it's endgame period now. It seems like the Blue Alliance are quite the lead. I think there's still some technical difficulty on the Red Alliance, but let's see if they can score some points that, influence their ranking a little bit. Another on the high basket. I see that's quite full. That's 8 points per piece, as Mitch said before, and that's accumulated a lot of points for them. Now 10 seconds left. Let's see if any robot attempt to climb. I see one on the Blue Alliance, making room to the Red Alliance partner. On the Red Alliance, also, I think it's they're just grabbing a sample. It's not a climb. 2 seconds left. 1 second.
Fantastic work, team. Die!
And there are folks static discharge on the high chamber. Tech BY working the chamber as well while their partners work on the high basket. A very common strategy we've seen so far. So it's going to be a matter of speed. Who is quicker? Okay, static discharge and Tech BY matching each other. They're going band for band right now on those high specimens. are still not done. Never mind, they're done.
Drivers, pick up your controllers.
I thought red would be quicker in
3,
this case,
2,
maybe 3 times as
1.
fast, but you know.
Okay, so we're going to enter this tele-op period with some 100-digit scores already. Blue's got 119, red has 113. A very close match right out the gate. Okay, Revolution filling up their high basket right now. I see some samples in there. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think this is number 5 on its way. Meanwhile, we got the Protostars with their robot Proton working the submersible right now, trying to grab, I think, a blue sample, get that turned into a specimen on their observation zone. Red's now taking the lead, but it's only a slight one, folks, of about 6 points. 1 minute and 15 seconds left on the clock. Static Discharge is on the scene right now within the submersible, hunting for some samples right now. It looks like Blue's having some hard time grabbing those samples. This is giving Red exactly the advantage they need. They have overtaken Blue. They have 153 points, and Blue has 123. That is a 30-point gap. There's Revolution with one more sample in the high basket. They're just filling that thing right up. Here's Tech BY with another specimen as well. And we're in endgame. All right, the Protostar is on the scene with a specimen on the high chamber. Tech BY coming into match with another specimen as well. We're going to be hitting the 15-second mark here. Okay, we got Protostars going for the climb. Revolution going for the climb. They're off the ground. Static Discharge with the level 1 ascent as
One dive.
All right, Team Star here. Alphabet moving up onto the high basket. Slightly missed. On the other side is what's the Blue Alliance have reached? FTA, we need help for Protostars.
Look like we have a disconnect on the Protostars up on the front corner of the field there. That orange and black robot coming to us from Montana. FTAs are going to try to help figure out whatever the connection issues are. Meanwhile, the Alpha Bots have got themselves 1 score, but on the other side, we got the Futures here. Look like they've got themselves 3 specimens.
Drivers, pick up your controllers. 3, 2, 1.
All right, it's a tele-op period. Protostar is now on the move. It's quite a lead for the Blue Alliance, about a 50-point lead, but it's definitely something that can come back if the Red Alliance work efficiently.
Looks like we got some nervous robots. Some of those specimens are going bouncing around in different places. Let's see if these teams can finish strong and get these into some scoring positions. Cybertronic Penguins getting a second sample out into the high basket over there on the Blue Alliance side. Meanwhile, on the Red Alliance side, it looks like Alpha Bots are trying to get themselves set up with a bunch of specimens off in their player station. I'm assuming those are going to be scored one after the other to be as efficient as possible.
Right now it's the Blue Alliance winding their lead, but the Red Alliance trying to catch up. Alphabot scrapping one more sample, moving it back to the Alliance station, or its observation zone. Now going for a high chamber score, and they're done successfully.
It's hungry hippos at the submersible right now. All 4 robots reaching in, trying to get as many specimens as they can, activating those to get them into samples, or sorry, as many samples as they can, turning them into specimens, or perhaps just scoring like Protostars have done on the Red Alliance side.
All right, it's like Red Alliance slowly catching up. It's one more on the high basket and one more in the high chamber from both the team in the Red Alliance. On the Blue Alliance, it's the Futures going for another high chamber score.
All right, coming up just about at endgame, you're going to hear a hooter when it's ready for these robots to climb. I think some of these robots can climb, so maybe we will see a few points scored at the end, as we have a 122-109 lead for Blue right now. Blue ahead by a little bit, but not by enough that a climb or a good level 3 ascent might actually turn the tide in this match.
All right, quite the close match. Is less than a 13 points difference. Means you're right, a climb would be the difference maker in this scenario. But they're going for one more. Oh, they dropped their specimen. That could be costly.
Protostars have gotten themselves up there. They going for the level 2 ascent with 5 seconds left. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's your game.
Go!
And off they go. Those Proto Stars getting ready to become a actual star of this match, dumping off all 3 red samples into the observation zone, almost, and it looks as though they may not be able to get this next one. It looks like they're beached on it, actually. So they weren't able to score anything in the... They actually will score a park, but they're not going to score anything on the observation deck, unlike the opposing alliance. Fix it, scoring 1, descoring 1, and having 1 ready to go. Unofficial score right now is 32-18 red.
1.
Looks as though their partner is the perfect paradox, perfectly making sure that we know Red's got the lead for this match so far. It's 56-44. It's still close. It's anyone's game right now, but we'll see if Blue will be able to keep up and take over that lead. And we see Nerb doing nerby things, like scoring into that high basket and retrieving from the submersible with their very, very tiny little prongs. I'm surprised that they haven't broke, but you know, when you print things with a 80% infill or something, it's gonna be stable. Minute 20 on the clock, and we see Perfect Paradox trying to retrieve in the way of Fix It, and it looks like there might be a little bit of contention within the submersible zone right now as they try their best to get a sample with those small but very effective rollers. Minute on the clock, and we see the Proto Stars getting into their flow. They're cycling those specimens on that high chamber. 4 points, 10 points of pop, I believe. And they're getting that first one, they scored it, they got the second one, and it'll be on for a score. Meanwhile, their opposing cyclers, Fix It, has a whole lot of specimens in stock, but now all they gotta do is just score it. Let's see if they'll be able to do it with their passive mechanism from the looks of it. And also from the sounds of it, we're in endgame. We'll see if that Blue Alliance is able to score it just quite yet. They fling it on into the submersible, not counting for any points, and I don't think it'll actually be of any help for any of us at this point in time. But they get the third one on, and it looks like they'll probably maybe go for a fourth one with the less than 10 seconds on the clock. We'll see if this will help in those final scores. 2 seconds, 1 second, and we see Perfect Paradox